Fuck! Fuck! Fuck!
Oh, you stupid motherfucker!
You're gonna find me dead! I'm gonna kill myself!
Hit the fucking guy! What the fuck is he doing?
I'm gonna be hanging from the bathroom!
They got the
Don't ask me to do nothing!
Hello. Welcome into another episode of the Steal Here podcast, where I'm your host, Kevin Adams, alongside my partner in crime, Jerry the Kid, Jerry the Don, the viral sensation for shitting his pants last week, Jersey Jerry. What's going on, Jerry?
What up, Kev? Yeah, crazy. It was a catastrophe, no doubt about it. When you gotta go, you gotta go. Unfortunately, I had to go on the train, and I couldn't find a fucking bathroom, so I had to do what I had to do. I shit my pants. Everybody's seen it.
It happens, man. It happens. That's part of life sometimes, I guess. What can you do about it? Started
Dude,
off on a...
It was wild, bro. It started out as a kind of a shitty week, you know. But then we turned it around.
Absolutely. So for those that don't know, Jerry and I had the privilege of sitting first row right at the tunnel for the game on Sunday. We were literally where the players walked down into the tunnel itself. We got to be right there, which was quite an incredible experience from both a game standpoint and then getting to see the guys and talk to some of the guys. Jerry had a little moment with Omar Khan where he asked him if there was any money left for AB to come back, and you should have saw Omar Khan. I mean, the smile he gave, he lit up whenever Jerry asked the question, knowing damn well that it was a joke and it was funny, but it was hysterical.
Oh yeah, we didn't get it in the video, but like his like face lit up and like he did like a double take and was like, and then he started laughing and pointing up. It was funny.
It was incredible. And then Jerry ends the week on a high note. I mean, that's how you persevere. You shit your pants early in the week, and then at the end of the week, TJ Watt invites you to dinner. So how did that feel in that moment there?
So listen, the background for the people who don't really know JJ, no Jersey Jerry. I've been going to war with TJ for years now. I'm a frontline soldier. You know, when TJ has a battle to fight, I'm there on Twitter. I'm there on Instagram. I'm fighting for my guy. I don't know what it took. First of all, TJ followed me after the shitting incident. He followed me after that, so I kind of feel disrespected. I respect the follow from TJ. I guess shitting my pants is what it took for him to follow me, not all the battles I've been through and all the wounds I have all over me for fighting with this guy. Anyway, after the game, so this is what happened. People don't know this part of the story. I'm going to tell it. You left. You went to a concert.
Yep.
TJ comes out of the locker room at halftime. Okay? Comes out somewhere in the third quarter. I see him walk out of the tunnel. So he walks past me. He doesn't look at me. He walks past me, goes to the bench, and he's just over there on the bench talking to guys. And my eyes are locked in on him. It's my favorite player. My eyes are locked in on him. He starts looking throughout the stands, and then he sees me. And he gives me a thumbs up. And I'm like, gave him a head nod like this. I don't know what that was about. I guess it was just a sign of respect. Anyway, he comes through. He comes through after the game, walking down the tunnel. He's signing some autographs. And he just looks at me and he's like, gives me a pound handshake. We dap up. He's like, yo, let's do dinner, man. And I'm like, let's do it. And that was like, wow. It was a surreal moment. I mean, Kev, I've been going to war for this guy for 4 or 5 years now, and it finally paid off.
Right. For those that don't know, Jerry has been sending relentless DMs to TJ. I mean, he's asking him, TJ will post a picture of what he's eating, and Jerry's on there. That's bully food. Just commenting one-line comments in Instagram and getting no love, no respect back from TJ at all.
No,
so shits his pants, and TJ thinks that's worthy of a follow. So, I mean, tip of the hat. That's a way to persevere, Jer.
Yeah, you got to keep fighting sometimes.
Hey, shit, man. Sometimes you just got to shit your pants to get a little recognition. Can't hate on a man for that.
Yeah.
What did we think about the game?
So, I know you had to rewatch probably the second half because you missed it. Yeah. But I think the game went really good. I really do. We'll get into, offensive line and whatnot. But what stood out to me a good amount was just Mitch, man. I mean, Mitch and Kenny both from the offensive side. I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due. Mitch didn't lose the job, so I could respect that. I
Agreed.
could respect that. The final 2 minute drive he had was just great. I think it was a 92-yard drive. Goes in. We score. I mean, you can't ask for much more, man. I mean, he's doing all this with not the best offensive line. And then Kenny comes in, and I'll tell a story about the Kenny situation, and you missed it because you weren't there. I think I was the only one in the fucking stadium that heard this. And after the game, Kenny hit me up and it was like, "Hey, sorry, I missed you. See you at the next one for sure." Because obviously he was busy. I wasn't hounding him or anything like that. And
Right.
I messaged him back, and I'm like, "Hey, I heard you. I heard what you said in the third quarter." He's like, "Yeah, I didn't think anybody really heard that." So this would happen. It was the third quarter. It was the possession of the blocked field goal.
Yep.
So a couple plays before that, we run a draw play.
Mm-hmm.
We get 2 yards. You should have seen Kenny. He turns to the sideline, stares at Tomlin, and says, "Let me throw the fucking ball." Screamed at him.
No.
And I messaged Kenny after the game, like, "Hey, I think I know I heard what you fucking said." And he's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, it was something along those lines."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "But that's what you want to see out of your fucking guys, man.
Yeah,
You
the
know what I
fire,
mean?
baby. You want the fire. And I
These
think,
guys are winners, bro. They're
yep,
winners."
yep. And
And
and I think that possession you're talking about, he rolls to the right side and he like the play breaks down, he rolls to the right side and he throws the ball to Gunner. And it could have been caught. Gunner was in bounds. It just banged off his fingertips and falls out of play, incomplete. And that's whenever I'm pretty sure that's possession where they blocked
yeah,
the field goal. So yeah, I went to a Wiz Khalifa concert. Um, I watched the game the entire way there. So I ended up watching it until Mason came in. I'll be honest. I didn't watch a whole lot after that. Just
yeah,
I've seen what I needed to see at that point. But from Kenny, I think the most exciting thing that he was doing on Sunday was it was the RPO stuff.
yeah,
The thing I love about what Kenny has done so far in limited time is that he looks decisive. He doesn't look like the moment is too big. When
no,
it comes time to make the right read or the right play, he makes the right read. So for those that are listening that don't know what an RPO is, it's called a run pass option. And basically, two plays are called on the same possession. So the quarterback has the decision to make of either handing it off to the running back or pulling it down and throwing the ball quickly, either a hot route or, whoever the designed receiver is to catch that ball very quickly would be. So Kenny ran a couple of those in the game Sunday, and he was spot on with it. So he puts the ball in the running back's stomach, pulls it back out, immediately gets into a throwing position, and threads the needle across the middle of the field. And both resulted in nice yardage pickups. So for a guy to be a rookie and in his third game and come in and be able to very successfully run the RPO, it's just a pretty thing to see. I mean, that obviously shows he's getting a good grasp on the playbook. He knows the right reads. He's seeing what the defense is giving him pre-snap, and he's making the right call. And so that's honestly one of the things I was most excited about. Mitch also looked good. Aside from the shitty line play that we got early, Mitch, how about the 38 yarder? I think it was left sideline to DJ.
Deontay, yeah, that was
I mean,
great. I mean, that's just that ball's on the money,
dead
on
on.
the money.
And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, holy shit, he overthrew him by 5 yards, not even gonna be close. And then DJ ends up right in the basket. And he
Yeah,
came up a little gimpy, and we watched him, walk down into the tunnels, and I was concerned about it. That's DJ's one guy I really don't want to lose this year, along with TJ. And we had to watch both of those guys walk down into the tunnel. So that's uncomfortable as hell. But yeah, aside from that, I really do think that, like you said, highlighting Mitch's, 90 plus yard drive at the end of the first half, that if you can score going into the half and coming out of the half, those are huge possessions. Momentum
yeah,
possessions, you deflate the other team when you score going in at the half, especially then that was our first touchdown of the game. So they had held us to that point. He comes out, drives down the field. You can only hold us down so long, and then we break through, and you can break a defense's will by doing some shit like that. So I was extremely, extremely happy to see both of them successful again as far as that's concerned. Defensively, I didn't think we looked terrible. I thought defensively we looked pretty damn good, to be honest. We saw most of the starters play. You saw Minka make some plays out there. TJ is just unfucking blockable, Jerry.
Yeah, you can't, dude. It's just listen. Only thing I disagree with is Tomlin. You know what the fuck he's capable of. There's no reason for him to be out there in the second quarter. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
It's just foolish, man. It really is. It's fucked up. I mean, you know, if there's one guy on the fucking Steelers that you know you don't have to worry about is T.J. Watt. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's Watt saying I want to play, I want the reps. If I'm the coach, motherfucker, you play a couple series in the first quarter, you're
Yep.
done. You know how to game. You've been in the league. You know what it is.
Yep.
Come
And
on.
we
I
saw
don't know.
Cam was in there long too. Cam was in
Yeah,
there
man. I mean, just a
well
little
well
bit too
into the
long.
second. Yeah, and it's concerning just because of what we saw then happen.
Yeah.
TJ, he has the 2 tackles for loss. One gets called back on an Ogunjobi, offsides play. But regardless, he's in the backfield immediately. He's tackling 2 tackles for loss. As far as that's concerned, he's explosive. We know what we're getting. You can sit him down. He was in there. He comes across. Hawkinson comes down, chops his legs, just like we saw happen to the Giants. First round pick, the 5th overall pick in the draft. A week before. He gets his leg chopped out. Same fucking style of play. That's one thing. If we had to bitch about anything in the league as far as roles are concerned, roughing the passer, I love that they're going to come out and lessen how much they call that
Yeah.
this year. But those chop blocks inside the box, man, they gotta go. It's barbaric. You're gonna eliminate great players from the game that the league wants to see out there for revenue and ratings because of barbaric shit like that.
Yeah,
That
and it's
stuff
not
has to
even just it's not even just like Steelers players. It's fucked up throughout the whole league. I mean, you
end.
fucking take somebody out, they're done for the year. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, and that's and it's terrible. It's just unacceptable, and it needs to be outlawed as far as the game is concerned on that end. Uh, Cam looked damn good in there. I thought
Couple
Cam
pass
looked great
deflections from
again.
him. He always does great with that.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. But I mean, overall, that's pretty much what we're going to see out of the defense. Highsmith obviously didn't play, but we'll be okay on that end. And just today we made the trade for the Reed kid out of Denver.
Yeah.
So now we know who's going to be linebacker number 3.
The only
And
reason I know who it is because that's the fucking guy when we were playing. I think it was obviously Denver. He
yep,
had the strip sack on Ben,
yep.
didn't he?
Yep. Yep. He came around and that was like a motor play. He was
Yes.
blocked well. He's blocked well coming around. Ben does the usual, extends the play, tries to roll out a little bit to the right side. And this guy just didn't fucking quit. And
Yeah.
he just motored through it and he ends up sawing down Ben's arm. They get the ball, change the game early in that game. We ended up winning, so it wasn't the end of the world. But yeah, that's the type of motor play you want to see out of an outside linebacker 3 spot. So we don't have to look so much at Derek Tuska playing that position. It's nice that we added somebody that is successful. 13 sacks in the last 2 seasons combined as far as outside linebacker.
Yeah, I
So
think he was like top. I want to say he was top 20 in the league in quarterback in hurries.
yeah,
I
it's
think he
exactly
was.
it. And that's on, you have to remember that's on limited reps. That's not him. He's not getting a ton of starts as far as that's
Yeah.
concerned. That's a good bit of backup duty as well. So if you can rely on a guy like that where TJ can get some wind and Highsmith can get some wind, and then they're still equally as fresh and efficient in the fourth quarter as they are in the first quarter, that's
Yeah.
massive. That is a
Mhm.
big get for the Steelers. I'm really hype about landing that guy for sure. Uh, I mean, what else we got here? Let's look into the line, Jerry. The
Yeah.
line
It's a
is a problem.
catastrophe. It's a mess. You might as well at this point. I'd rather take 5 people I'd rather take 5 Helen Kellers on the fucking line and line them up there and see what the fuck they could do because that's just what it is. They're getting blown back every play.
Yeah, yeah. Early in the game, like the first possession, I want to say might have been Mitch's first attempt at passing. All 5 guys got pushed backwards.
Yeah.
I mean, they are all stepping on Mitch's feet, and it was fast. You're talking 1.5 seconds, and they're already getting bullied into the backfield. I mean, I don't know what the hell we have to do to figure out this offensive line, but Najee shouldn't be having to fight off 2 defenders in the backfield before he even gets back to the line of scrimmage. And you
Yeah.
saw
Well,
that a lot on Sunday.
you know what it is? This is what happens when you have the highest paid defense in the league. There's no money to pay offensive line guys, and it is what it is. They're
Yep.
young. They don't have the crazy experience. Um, they don't have the best size. I mean, it's just I don't know, man. I don't know. I seen that guy from the Raiders get dropped today, And
Yeah,
listen,
Leatherwood.
former first round pick, I would like to see the Steelers take a chance on him. I mean, I don't know much about the guy they picked up from the Dolphins,
Right.
but from what the comments are looking like, he sucks.
Right.
It just is what it is. He just sucks. I don't know.
I
And
mean,
listen, I want to say this though. Credit to Mitch and Kenny for fucking going out there and balling out
yep.
with a line like that.
Yep, and that goes to show that we're in a position to win. If the line can get it going, we're in a position to win. The defense looked plenty the part. They can handle it. They're going to get Highsmith back. We're going to be fine on defense. The one thing I do want to note about the defense was we rode his ass last week. We rode Devin Bush's ass because he's just not giving
Yeah.
maximum effort. And I will slightly retract that this week simply because first play of the game, he gives up a, probably a 15-yard pass to Hawkinson, covering him over the middle. He gets smoked on it. It was just ugly. Granted, Hawkinson is one of the best pass catching tight ends, so that's, it is what it is. 4th and 1, first half. Miles Jack explodes to the hole. Devin Bush explodes to the other hole, and they stop the running back in the backfield. Devin Bush goes low, Miles Jack stands him up, and bang, Steelers stop him on 4th down. That is linebacker play, Jerry. That is Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker play. That is what it's going to take. That's the shit it's going to take, because you have Cam, he's going to get doubled in situations like that. He's going to do everything he can do. He's going to eat up blockers. When he eats them up, it comes down to the linebackers blowing through the hole. That's their job. That's their responsibility, especially on plays like that. So for them to do that, bright shining spot as far as that's concerned on the Devin Bush end of things.
Yeah, credit to him. I mean, listen, it's got to be. We weren't the only fucking Steelers fans or Steelers podcasts talking about it. Obviously, you see all the tweets, you see what people say. You know, people were upset at him for a few weeks. He's just is out there lollygagging, looks like he doesn't care. He looks slow, and then to come back and clear up all the noise. I mean, credit to him. Listen, it will be so big. We already know Cam. We already know TJ. We know Minka already. It'll be so big if he goes out there this year. Like him specifically showing out this year. If you said to me, Devin Bush showed up this year and he fucking played his heart out and he played excellent, I'll tell you the Steelers have a top 5 defense.
Oh, absolutely. I would agree with that all day, barring injuries and all sorts of stuff.
Yes,
We're talking in a vacuum, in a perfect world. If Devin Bush balls and we can stay healthy through the season, we're going to be just fine. That defense is going to be elite. It will keep us in pretty much every game as long as we don't kill ourselves on the offensive side of things. So I'm 100% excited if Devin Bush can build on that. If he can just get his confidence back, I think it's just a confidence thing for him. If he can just get his mind right and go back to that dog we saw out of Michigan, we're going to be fine on defense. I would agree with you entirely.
Yeah, and listen, one thing I want to say is this: Miles Jack's a dog.
Oh yeah.
He's a fucking dog, bro. I mean, he ain't the biggest motherfucker, but that boy hits. That boy is excellent in coverage. He fucking shoots the gap. He makes tackles behind the line of scrimmage. He almost had an interception. I mean, he's great, man. What an addition, man. What a fucking addition from the Pittsburgh Steelers. But yeah, man. Hopefully Devin, it feeds off of Miles Jack. Because on the sideline, they look, when they're together and they're talking, they're chopping it up, they're laughing. They seem like, they're like friendly as hell. They're having moments together and they're cheering each other on. So hopefully, they build this chemistry and that's our 2 inside guys for the future.
That's the tandem we need. And again, not to last week, I was high on Mark Robinson, and Mark Robinson yet again looked good. And we found out today he made the 53. 7th round draft pick makes the 53. Not practice squad. The fucking guy's going to be out there on Sundays.
Yeah.
Hat off to a guy like Mark Robinson. If 7th round draft pick, you make the final 53. Good for you, brother. You busted your ass. You earned that. So I'm excited about that too. So I'm feeling a little bit better about the linebacker position this week than I was last week. So that's exciting. Tomlin comes out today and he says he doesn't have an announcement as far as who the starting quarterback is going to be yet.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah, I don't think anyone in the world that follows the team closely believes that it's not going to be Mitch Trubisky. It's pretty obvious that it's Mitch Trubisky, I would say. And Tomlin, he loves to play these games with the reporters. We know this at this point. He likes to play a little cat and mouse game. So just because he's saying he doesn't have an announcement yet doesn't mean he doesn't know who it is, and everyone in that locker room knows who it is. So,
Oh yeah.
that's just Tomlin wordplay
And you
there.
can't fault him for this. People, I see people on Twitter. Oh, this is Ken. Like, it should be Kenny. Listen, I agree with that to a certain extent, but then I come back to to fucking earth and realize Kenny is a rookie. Okay, and I know I said in the past I want Kenny to play. I want him to start. But then you fucking you look at the big picture and it's like, listen, Kenny played great. He didn't do enough to take the job from Mitch. And
Right.
Mitch didn't underperform to where it's like, okay, you lost the job. So we're kind of going into this how we fucking started it. And listen, Mitch is the veteran. You put the veteran out there. The last thing you want to fucking do is start Kenny. He's young, he's inexperienced. First couple of games are shitty for him, let's say. You put Mitch in there, right? And then all of a sudden Mitch blows up, and then you bring Kenny back. Like, you don't want to fuck with guys like that.
No, we can't quarterback carousel it, and that's ultimately this is why I said back in whenever we drafted Kenny, but we had already signed Mitch. That was my stance from the beginning. Is that there's just no way unless Kenny Pickett comes out and lights the world on fire, he's just not going to start day one.
And what I don't want to happen either, Kevin, is this. Don't fucking if you move away from Mitch, okay? You move away from him, let's say, who knows, week 5, week 6, you put Kenny out there, right? Don't go back.
Oh yeah, agreed.
Don't go back to Mitch. That's it. It's done.
Yeah.
You let Kenny play the fucking game of football for the rest of the season. Don't be playing games back and forth. If you're not happy with Mitch, you're not happy with the way he's playing by whatever, week 1, week 5, whatever it is, week 7, once you make that move to Kenny Pickett, this is your job now. Now go show what the fuck you can do. Don't be playing games back and forth. That will upset me.
And I think Tomlin's a better head coach than that. And Tomlin is obviously one of the best head coaches in football. I ride his ass sometimes because situationally he makes mistakes. He calls timeouts at the wrong time or doesn't call timeouts. He does some things that are head scratching. But at the end of the day, I think he knows the right approach to this, and I think he's approaching it the right way. He wasn't just going to give it to Kenny. He let Kenny climb the depth chart. He starts at 3, he ends at 2, but it's a testament to how well both quarterbacks played that we're sitting here saying that Kenny didn't do enough whenever his statistics for the preseason, 29 of 36, 261 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a 124.7 passer rating. And we're saying he didn't do enough. So hats off to Mitch Trubisky with the number 1 draft pick on your ass, and he pulled through as well. So I'm not just gonna hype up Kenny, just for the hell of it because he's a first round draft pick. Mitch Trubisky did what he had to do, and I'm grateful to see that he has what we need him to have as far as succeeding. Because Jerry, at the end of this season, I don't think you give a shit, and I surely do not give a shit if somehow, some way, the Steelers hoist a Lombardi trophy. I don't give one fuck who it is hoisting it. Is that Mitch or Kenny? I don't care. That will never bother me the rest of my life. We got 7, baby, and that's all I give a shit about. So, I mean, we're good on that end. Why don't we head into the tweet of the week? Just because I want to get this off my chest. I saw a tweet that really sent me into a tailspin yesterday, and I'm going to read this to you guys, and I'll have Nick put it up on the screen here when you're watching this so that you can see what this guy said. So he has to be a Bengals fan. I didn't look deep into it. I honestly didn't even reply because I didn't want to draw any attention to this guy, but his name is Drew Garrison. And he says, TJ Watt would be viewed as a Trey Hendrickson type of player by fans and media if JJ Watt wasn't his brother. Argue with a wall. Let's just start at the top of this one, okay? Trey Hendrickson, over a 5-year career in the NFL, has 34 sacks. I'm not talking shit about it. 34 sacks, respectable. You can contribute a little bit. TJ Watt, same stretch of time, has 72 sacks.
Yeah.
He had 22 and a half sacks last year alone. So he's 12 less sacks in 4 less seasons. That's part A. Part B, 22 career forced fumbles for TJ Watt in 5 seasons. 22. Hendrickson, 6. 91 total tackles, Hendrickson. TJ Watt, 216. The only comparison that this guy can make is that they're both white pass rushers. That is where the comparisons end.
Yeah.
There, it is not even fucking close. It's embarrassing. It is embarrassing for this guy to speak anywhere close from Trey Hendrickson to TJ Watt. You should be embarrassed as a fan. You're embarrassing your fan base to even make that comparison. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to the defensive player of the year, and that is just unacceptable. So when we post this, I hope you hear from Steelers fans how idiotic it was to say something like that. And it is even worse that when I looked at it, it had something like 300 likes and retweets. It's more embarrassing that there are people that support that.
Yeah.
You know, it's unacceptable. Can't have it. Can't be saying dumb shit like that. That's just idiocy for likes and clicks. What do you got on the tweet of the week?
Mine is this one. I think it's from an account I'm pretty friendly with. It's from Blitzberg.
Yep.
You know that account?
Yep.
It says Jalen Warren makes the Steelers 53-man roster. Credit to him, man. Credit to that fucking guy, man. Coming in and getting the job done and fucking running hard, breaking tackles, fighting for extra yards, and making the fucking team. I didn't think he would make the team.
Nah,
And we got rid of McFarland, which I get it. I understand we kept Snell because of special teams. I'm not the biggest Benny Snell guy in the world. He's not that great of a running back. He does run very hard. He could break some tackles. He just doesn't really fit, I think, in today's NFL.
no. He's not a
But
wild back.
you know, he comes in. Listen. Benny's great on special teams, though. I'll give him that.
Yep.
He goes, he makes tackles, he hits. But for Warren to come in there and I think he's RB2. You know what I mean? I think he's RB2 over Snell. I don't know if that's official yet, but
That's
if
how
I
they
had to
send the
take
depth
a guess,
chart.
yeah. So I would, credit to fucking him, man. And that tweet probably, made him so happy seeing that over Twitter today. I'll tell you what, it made me really happy too for a guy to come in that nobody really knows about and to go out there and win a fucking win a job. That's fucking big, man. That's really
Yeah,
big. So credit to him.
he played hard all preseason. I mean, he
Yeah.
played hard football. He was fighting for extra yards. He can catch the ball. I mean,
Yeah.
he looked damn good on more than one occasion, more than one drive. In preseason, a lot of hype came out is that he's running hard. He breaks tackles, and then you see it in the game. And it's been a while since the Steelers have had two running backs that you can say are both. I wouldn't be upset to see Najee be spelled a little bit on third downs or
Yeah.
early in drives or when we're riding the shit out of them. We need another guy. I don't want to just run Najee into the dirt, especially behind this line.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, hats off to him. You nailed it. That's the type of player that we talk about on the heart player.
Yeah.
That's the type of guy. You need someone like him that's going to give you maximum heart in order to win. So yeah, I was very excited to see him make the team. Good for him on that end of it.
Yep.
So let's lead into the heart player this week, and I want to explain. So we're still figuring some things out, how we want to do this, what we want to do with the heart player. So we got to talking a little bit. So instead of doing the heart trophy, I think what Jerry and I are going to end up doing is I bought a helmet. We're going to put all the little yellow decals like they have in college, the hit sticks, stuff like that, where they put all those decals all over the helmet. We're going to give all the yellow hearts for the heart player of the week, whoever has the most at the end of the season, and we're going to send them that helmet. It's going to have the Steel Here logo on it, so it's going to be a nice little gift to the winner of the heart helmet itself. I have this week, it's Cam Hayward. Now, I'm not always going to pick somebody that is going to be, the focal point. It's usually going to be somebody that's the underdog, but I cannot look past what Cam Hayward did. He played a lot in the first half of a preseason game. He played a lot, and he gave an insane amount of effort. There is one play in particular, and I'm going to make sure that this gets tagged when you guys watch this if you haven't seen it. There's a guy on Twitter that I respect a ton. His name is Alex Kozora. He works for a company called Steelers Depot. He put out a video where Cam is long arming the center. Okay, so for those that don't know what long arming is, basically you jam your arm into the chest plate of the offensive lineman, And if you have a longer arm than he does for the most part, or you can extend it and torque on him, he can't get your arm disconnected. So Cam does this to not just a scrub lineman, not a backup lineman, a man by the name of Frank Ragnow, who happens to be the highest paid center in football. He's arguably the best center in football. And Cam jams that arm into him and holds him at bay until he can see which side of the line the running back goes to, shrugs him off, makes the tackle. He embarrassed him. And all I could think of when I watched it, you ever see like when there's a little kid and they're being a little nuisance and you put your hand on their head and they're trying to swat at your
Yeah.
arm because there's
Yeah.
nothing they can do. That's what this looked like. That's a grown ass man, arguably best center in football. And Cam made him look like a little kid. Cam Hayward is a different breed. He is an absolute monster. He does not get enough respect. I think he was ranked 41 on the NFL Network top 100
Wow.
players. Garbage. That's disrespectful. All pro. He's been all pro 3 times in his career. He has the ability to be a Hall of Fame player, and to see him just absolutely bully another grown ass man was beautiful. I love to see it, and I hope if you guys haven't seen it when we post this link, I hope you enjoy it. What do you got for the heart player this week, Jer?
Yeah, I'm gonna circle back to Bush, man. Made a couple big plays, made a couple good tackles. He did get burned early in the game, and that's the only time you kind of seen him drop the ball, on a play during the whole game. He went out there, looked like he was having fun, made that big stop with Miles Jack,
Yep.
kind of changed momentum, but like a guy like that, man, no matter what the world is saying about him, I'm sure, like I said before, he sees it all over the internet. All the Steelers reporters, including us, even though we're not reporters, but guys like us just putting tweets out there like, "What the fuck is he doing? What happened to the Devin Bush out of Michigan that's flying over the field? That's great in coverage. That isn't scared to come up and make a fucking big hit, shed
Yep.
off blocks. He comes up, he makes a big fucking tackle, changes momentum." So that's what I'm going with for this week for my heart player. But yeah, dude, credit to him. Blocking out all the noise, coming up big, making a few big plays. Nobody really special stood out to me on the offensive side of the ball this week. Deontay had that one great catch. Pickens had a few catches, but nothing crazy. Pat, well, back to back games now. Pat makes a big catch, so credit to him.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. And Pickens again, twice in 3 games in the
That
preseason,
block, right?
just embarrasses the fucking cornerback, man.
Yeah,
I mean, just embarrassed him. They have to be expecting this. He did it in college. There's
yeah,
video of him doing that in college, just disrespecting these cornerbacks where they're thinking he's coming out to run around and just bang, see ya, dumps them
yeah,
on their ass, and then just gives them a little Dikembe, like sit the fuck down type of shit. I mean,
yeah.
he's going to be a dog. He's going to be an absolute dog. I am very excited to see how his career progresses, especially this season.
He
And
almost
you,
made that one-handed catch on the sideline too. You seen that, right?
yo,
You were
yeah.
still there for that, right?
Yeah, that was first half. Yeah. So
Yeah,
he had it. He had it and it just slipped off to the left
yeah.
side. But
That'd
he
have been
made
nice.
another nice catch anyway where it was back shoulder. He turns around, catches the
Yeah.
ball, gets his feet in.
Mhm.
He's just a specimen. I think as a wide receiver, he's a specimen and he has a chance to be the offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, Jerry has a nice bet in on the Barstool Sportsbook app. What were the odds? You got them at great juice.
So
You
I
got
got
them.
them at. So when the odds came out for George Pickens on the Barstool Sportsbook, they were it was plus 4,000.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at it, I'm like, I don't know if I want to take a chance. I know he's going to be good. Then it was started to drop a little bit. It went
Mm-hmm.
down to plus 3,300, and I said, fuck it, I'm going to put 1,000 on it because I feel like it's going to drop significantly more. So I got it at $1,000 to win 33,000. A couple weeks ago, I'm just checking the odds and seeing all the tweets people are putting out.
Yep.
And it's like, holy shit, he's down to pretty much 12 to 1 now. And some books have it at 8 to 1.
Yeah, he was
Um,
he was at 8-1. He and Kenny were tied at 8-1 last week after
yeah,
he came out and balled in the first preseason game. He was down to plus 800. As of recording this right now, I saw him at plus 1150, which is still those are still really good juice, but to get
yeah.
him at 3300, imagine banging a $33,000 bet on a rookie of the year and it's someone that you're cheering your ass off for all season.
Yeah, well, the reason I put in the bet was because me and you, we went to camp, and you look at him and it's like, he's not a rookie. This guy's
No.
not a rookie, man. This
No, he's
guy is.
different.
He's
Different.
something different about him, bro. And I'll tell you what, the bet will look even greater for me if Mitch is successful,
Yep.
because let's say Kenny comes in week 2, he's going to have a really good shot, or week 4, he's going to have a good shot to win rookie of the year over George Pickens.
Yep.
If Mitch plays a good amount of games, let's say Mitch plays 9-10 games, I got a good shot at this if Pickens performs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's the biggest thing. A lot of people don't realize that usually rookie of the year comes down to a quarterback.
Yeah.
This year, there's nobody you have to worry about that's coming in that's going to start, at quarterback rookie that you have to worry about. So it's more than likely going to be a running back, a wide receiver. It's going to be something along the
Yeah.
lines of that.
Yeah.
And so I think Pickens has as good a chance of anybody, especially given what we've seen. He's gonna get some targets. He's gonna score the ball. So that's a hell of a bet. I honestly wish that I could have got that juice whenever I could, but I got him at plus 1600, which is nowhere near the 33. You lucked into that one. So
Yeah.
hats off to rolling the dice that early
I
in
will say
preseason.
one thing though. I just hope we see it a lot in preseason this year. When the Steelers throw the ball deep, it looks like it's just a go route, fly,
Yeah,
back shoulder pass.
yeah,
Eventually, teams are going to catch on to that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's I feel like the play calling has to be a little bit better with with these deep routes. I just feel like,
More creative.
yeah, you got to be a little more creative, man. You can't do the slants and then turn back. Okay, 3rd and 12. They know it's coming. Maybe a back shoulder pass to Pickens or Deontay. Like, if we see it, everybody else is seeing it. So I
Let's
think we
just
got to.
hope let's just hope that it's because it's the preseason though.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe Matt Canada doesn't want to, and there's no reason you don't have to do it now. Let's wait and use it when it makes sense to use it. Um, we'll see what Matt Canada has. There's no doubt about it. That's been the Steelers' offense for a while. You 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, and we throw a 40-yard ball down the left sideline to the right sideline. Like that shit drives me
yeah,
nuts. I hope that's not what we see this year. But
yeah,
let's we're not there's nothing that we can really discuss from a betting segment this week. Obviously there's no games to bet on, nothing like that.
yeah,
Next week's episode we are going to do a pretty in-depth betting segment looking at week 1, stuff like that. So we're going to have a lot more to discuss from a betting standpoint next week. But one thing we do want to get out there is, so Jerry and I have discussed about what players we're going to have on, some of the guys that we're going to try and get on for interviews and things of that nature. So Jerry has some connections with we might have Fryermuth on here at some point soon. Maybe we're going to look at having him on this week. But to do this podcast, which is gonna be a blast, there's one player, if we can get him on, it's gonna be the highlight of my life. It's my white rhino when it comes to podcasting. It's gonna be Big Ben. So that is the goal. That is, I will say
yeah,
this goal on episode 2 of this show, that the day that we can land the big 7 on this podcast will be the highlight of my entire life. So what we need from you guys is, we need you to like, comment, subscribe, share this wherever you're getting your podcast. If you can share it, if you like it, we're not asking you to do something. If you don't appreciate it, that's fine. Keep it moving. But if you like it and you want to share it, it will help us a ton. Like it, comment it, subscribe it, share it. We would really appreciate it. You'll find it on the Jersey Jerry channel on YouTube.
yeah.
It'll be on Apple Podcasts. You'll also be able to see it on Spotify. We had some issues with Spotify last week. I know Jerry was looking into getting that stuff figured out. So we'll get it out there this week for you. Jerry, who would you love to have on this show?
This year in particular, not so much like a white rhino,
Yeah,
but this year in particular, I wouldn't go for Tomlin because he already did the pivot, well, Ryan Clark, which was a great podcast.
incredible.
But I would really like to talk to Brian Flores. I
Oh yeah,
really would. This year, I would love to, get in his ear and see how he thinks. And I don't know. I just think he would be a great guest too. And
absolutely.
we could talk about uh what the future he thinks is too. Like, I don't know. I doubt he'll stay in Pittsburgh. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think he wants a head coaching job, which I think he should get. So
Right.
maybe we only see him in Pittsburgh for a year.
Then that means we gotta reel him in this year then, Jerry Don. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it's gonna take. So yeah, so moving forward, hopefully this week we can get maybe Pat on and then we'll look at some other players as we move forward down the list. But it comes back to the viewers, it comes back to you guys. If you can help us in any capacity in that end of it, let's get it done. We go as you guys take us. So we appreciate all the support. We had a hell of a first week. The turnout was incredible. So we thank you guys. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is going to be a blast of a season, and we're looking forward to it. So tune in every week. We're going to continue to bring you the best we can from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we hope you guys enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll reiterate like what you said. It helps us so much with the comments, the subscribing, the retweets, the sharing and stuff like that. It helps us grow, helps us eventually get players on. Players really aren't going to come on a podcast that do fucking 200 views. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's good. The first week, our first show, I think we did 2.4K on YouTube, which is really good. Which
Right.
is really good for a first show. You know what I mean? I was expecting somewhere along 500, 600 views, but hey, for the first show, 2.4K was really good. I think we were second in podcast for the Steelers for our first show. So looking forward to growing the show, doing this week after week. And I think the plan going forward is we want to drop Wednesdays, right, Kev?
Correct. Yeah. So I worked it out today. I'm gonna reshift some things on my work schedule. Our producer Nick, he's fully on board with it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna record roughly 2:00, 2:30 on Tuesdays. We're gonna get it out. We're gonna get it out Wednesday, roughly 9 a.m., 10 a.m., somewhere in that ballpark. So you're listening to us now. It's Tuesday evening. Tomorrow we will drop this thing by 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. But then moving forward during the season, you will get us around 10 a.m. every Wednesday morning.
For sure. Awesome. Yep. Great.
All right. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you again next week.
All right.
Oh, you stupid motherfucker!
You're gonna find me dead! I'm gonna kill myself!
Hit the fucking guy! What the fuck is he doing?
I'm gonna be hanging from the back room!